All right, before we get on today's topic, I want to let you know or remind you guys, we are Hunterworks. We are making some of the best belts on the planet, in my opinion. Also, if you want to subscribe to our videos so you can keep up with different things we come up with and find, hit our subscribe button down here in the lower left-hand side, or to your right, probably on a computer. Up here is going to be a little white deal on a computer that you can click on, goes to our website, or the topic at hand or our main website link is going to be down below in our description. All right, today's topic is going to be about belt dimensions, how to measure a belt, or why maybe ours is different or whatever, because we get some emails. I got one today that a guy was measuring a belt with a set of calipers. Yours is narrower than the OE, and I don't want to start off with a worn belt. You know, hey, you don't know how to measure a belt and why ours is thinner, where'd you measure it? All right, so that's kind of where we're going to start at. Also, there's a big difference between the term thick and wide. We sell a belt, the name of the belt is the thick belt for XP1000s. It is thicker, not wider. So here's an example. Belts run on vehicles this way, just like I'm holding us. Which one of them is thicker? Well, you'd probably say this one. This is thick. This is wide. Thick is this way. And when we're talking about thick, we're not talking about top to bottom. There's a solid section in here that we manipulated. If you want to compare our thick belt while we're on a subject to an OE or whatever, well, you're going to see that our bottom cogs are shorter, but the measurement's pretty close to the same top to bottom. But the thicker part is going to be in between. That's what matters on a belt. Top cogs, bottom cogs, they don't play a huge role in belt grip, especially not top cog. So we're manipulating this, and that solid portion is what's thicker when we say thicker. Okay, probably the biggest misunderstanding about belt dimensions is going to be width. Okay, this is an OE belt. It's actually off of my Ranger. Okay, so a guy will get a pair of calipers and he'll measure this thing up. And I don't even have my glasses on, can't read it, doesn't matter. Hey, that factory belt's 1.25 inches. Your belt for it says it's 1.8 inches. It's an 1/8 inch narrow. No, sir, it's not. You just don't know where to measure belts, okay? And there's no way for me to zoom in this close enough. This ain't even the comparable belt, but it doesn't matter. This is one of ours, and we're demonstration purposes only. All right, wish I had a whiteboard back here. All right, so top cogs on some belts, not even all OE belts, but in particular, the top cogs carry on the same angle as the gripping portion of the belt, okay? So, therefore, it gets wider at the top, you see. All right, now, what we do is we cut our top cogs at 90 degrees, like this, all right? So our gripping portion is this, and then the belt turns straight up, narrow, all right? So, and I just use numbers out my rear there. 1/8 inch difference is between, you're measuring in the wrong place at the top cog from this to this, okay? So certainly you're measuring that, all right? So I get that argument time to time from somebody who's smart about belts. Says, well, Polaris says once a belt is this width at the top, then replace it. Well, yours is already there. Sir, you're measuring the wrong place. And that's Polaris belt. We don't even have a spec for that. But again, we're gonna make up a number. All right, so if a Polaris belt was 1.25 inches, whatever I said a while ago, and let's say its wear point was 1.8 inches, and ours started at 1.8 inches, ours would sound like it's wore out, but it's not. What did ours start out at? 1.8 inches, because it's top cog design. So if it wore 1/8 of an inch, well, now it would only be 1 inch wide, if you follow what I'm saying. So you cannot use Polaris's service manual or owner's manual measurements that a top width of a belt is this and it's wore out at that with any other manufacturer's belt other than the OE because of the different ways we make belts. Not just Hunterworks, it'd be Gates or whoever, doesn't matter. So that's not the way to measure a belt's width. FYI, that is a way to measure a Polaris belt for wear. If I came up with a spec like that, you could measure ours like that. Well, that belt starts off at this, when it's wore to that, replace it, okay? Now then, if you wanted to measure a belt's width and compare it to anything, I always jokingly say, quit measuring our damn belts and put them on. They're right. If you wanted to measure something, you have to take, and this might show up a little better because this looks like a new belt because the cord's showing some on this one. You would have to take a pair of calipers, sitting in this position, put your pointer right, we're calling this the bottom of the cord because that's bottom, and you put your pointer of your caliper there, come over and measure at the bottom of the other cord and get you a measurement, and then pick up your next one and find the exact same spot and do it. I will promise you, you and I do not have steady enough hands to get that measurement any closer than probably 5/1000ths of an inch in a comparison. So if they was within 5/1000ths of each other, you might as well call them the same. So our belts, as a general rule, depending on what belt we're talking about, going to be the same width as an OE belt, but you got to know where to measure it at the top, at the cord. Okay, another thing that is where all these dimensions come into play is that that's what we do here at Hunterworks. We are manipulating dimensions along with engineering staff at the manufacturer makes them for us to accomplish things, okay? So, we've got different belts and this solid portion is a good ways away from the top cog. It's down here, and then you pick up the comparable OE. Well, that just looks different. I always say, you have to assume OE is correct in the first place. Now, as a general rule, they are, but they're trying to accomplish a particular wide range goal, and we may be trying to accomplish a narrow goal that fixes something, reliability, whatever. All right, circumference, that last bit of talking has to do with circumference. If you measure this line and this one, and if this was OE and this was Hunterworks off the same machine, well, yours is an inch shorter or an inch longer, whatever. You don't measure circumference, even though there is a measurement for circumference. It doesn't mean that 23 inches or whatever is correct. All right, actually it's closer to 43, but whatever. Why? Because of where the solid portion that does the work is in our belt as relation to maybe the OE. If it's closer to the top or closer to the bottom, that circle gets smaller if it's closer to center or larger. So rest assured, I hate to be a smart butt, and I don't really mean, that's not being a smart butt. We know what we're doing. Our dimensions are what they are for a good reason, and I jokingly say, quit measuring a damn belt and go run it. Today is June 24th of 2020. Today, 19,658 belts have been sold by Hunterworks, made by Hunterworks in 4 days shy of 2 years. 1%, actually 0.9% warranty rate, and a failure rate just slightly above that. I think we got it. Okay, so this is just a little short video on belt dimensions, how and where to order, measure, with the biggest being this. This only works when you know what it starts out at and where it should be replaced when it's narrower per manufacturer belts. All right, guys, Appreciate y'all so much, absolutely so much on our belt sales. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. We appreciate it. If you need us, email me, text questions, todd@hunterworks.com, order questions, order Hunterworks. We know the phone's tough. Thank you guys.